500,000 of them.
Okay. Hello, Durudin Shalom. Guys, how's my audio? Let me know so that we could get started with no issues. Hi, is oh my God, look at this. The chat is already my favorite people are here. Oh my God, Texas, Amir, Newton. Everyone's here. Everyone's here. This is good. Lior is here. Okay. Beach Kid is here. Fantastic. This is great. Okay. Wait, let me see if the audio here is good. Is the highest level.
Many.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna play this idiot, and we'll see if it's working as well. Howdy. Audio. My audio is good. How about his audio?
Rose up.
Wait, go back to the beginning. There we go.
Back in April of 1994, some of the worst atrocities of the modern era broke out in the landlocked Central African country of Rwanda. To make a very complicated story short, the dominant tribe in Rwanda, the Hutu tribe, which controlled the government, had the majority of the population, for a bunch of different reasons, rose up under the direction of their leaders and attempted to exterminate the minority tribe in the nation called the Tutsis. And for 100 days, they did their best. They killed hundreds of thousands of them, more than 500,000 of them, many with machetes or burned alive or buried alive. And they raped even more than that. And not just raped, but literally corralled AIDS patients in AIDS hospitals and sent them out to rape Tutsi women and to affect them with HIV, which they did. It was horrifying. And as the details of what happened during...
Is he going to suggest that's what Israel is doing in Gaza? Why are we talking about Rwanda? Is this idiot going to pretend that what happened in Rwanda is what Israel is doing to the so-called Palestinians in Gaza? Is that what he's going to do? If that's, I mean, okay, let's continue.
What is now referred to as the Rwandan genocide filtered out to the rest of the world. People were stunned and nauseated by it and really bewildered that something like this could happen. Not that long after the most famous genocide in history in the 1940s in Europe. To which we'd all said, well, that could never happen again. Well, it did.
Oh, oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me?
Version of it did happen in
where? Is he gonna say Gaza? I'm gonna slap this man. Is the next word Gaza?
Rwanda in 1994.
Oh no.
But what was even more distressing and in some ways shocking was that the world knew it was happening as it happened and did nothing to stop it. And in most cases said nothing about it, even when it was in progress. From the very beginning, 4 days after the genocide in Rwanda started, a Swiss journalist in Kigali, the capital, published a piece in a French newspaper saying, I have interviewed 8 officials and there's a genocide going on in Rwanda. This ran in a Western paper and then was picked up in other Western papers, but no one did it.
Hey, Sarah just became a member. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to our community.
Anything. So the Red Cross knew it was happening. The UN knew it was happening. There were UN troops in Rwanda. The French government knew it was happening. There were French troops there. Okay. The nation of Israel knew it was happening. Israel had been a supporter of the Hutu government for decades.
Oh my God.
In fact, it seems pretty obvious that some of the bullets and grenades used to murder Tutsis were sold to the Hutu government by the Israelis.
ISIS uses weapons and bullets that are made by Americans. What's your fucking point?
And in fact, there's some evidence.
He always has to find a way to blame the Jews. You always have to blame, guys. Anybody, any country that makes weapons, when they sell their weapons, sometimes people who are using that are shitty, evil people. That's the nature of being having a military industry. You can't avoid that.
Evidence apparently that the Israeli government sold weapons to the Hutu government during the genocide, which were used to murder Tutsis. We say apparently because the documents surrounding this have been classified. They're under seal per orders of an Israeli court on the grounds that were they to become public, it would be bad for Israel's image globally. So the Israelis knew, and the Clinton administration famously knew it was happening, but for domestic political reasons, didn't act to stop it. So the lesson is something horrible, in fact, genocide can happen. The world can know it's happening and allow it to happen. That's the lesson. And it's a lesson that a young Harvard law student called Samantha Power thought about a lot as she was getting her degree in Cambridge. How can a genocide take place within living memory of the Second World War and the civilized world does nothing about it? Well, in 2002, she published a book on that exact question. The book was called A Problem from Hell. He won the Pulitzer Prize and all kinds of other prizes. And Samantha Power's case was pretty simple. The world cannot allow genocide to happen again. If people find out this is happening, they have to act. That's the mark of civilization. Do you stop mass murder of civilians on ethnic grounds, genocide? And if you don't, then you're not civilized.
He's doing it. He's doing it. He's going to compare the genocide in Rwanda to what's happening in Gaza. Motherfucker. Let me actually go and see if what is. Yeah, let me just play this while I look this thing up.
States, she wrote, has a moral obligation to intervene with force if it determines that a genocide is underway. What's the point of having the world's largest military if you can't at least try to prevent a genocide? Well, as noted, she was lauded for this. The book changed her life. She became one of the most famous people in the world. And in a fairly short period of time, a close advisor to then candidate Barack Obama. He was elected in 2008 and promptly made her the chairman of the Atrocity Prevention Board. You may not have known such a thing existed, but it does. It's an interagency group. It still exists. Name slightly different. But its purpose is in the name, preventing atrocities, using the power of the U.S. government to prevent atrocities. Well, there weren't many well-publicized genocides during the first Obama term, but Samantha Power stuck around. She ended up teaching at Harvard Law School, and then Biden is elected or becomes president in 20.
Okay, so I'm looking at what the Israel's the small arms made by Israel made its way into Rwanda. They were sold to Rwanda Houthi forces. So, but what he didn't tell you, so I will just look into this. They weren't sold directly. Okay, so this is the part that he doesn't say. The arms transfers during the genocides were facilitated by private black market arm dealers operating internationally. He made it seem like Israel went and gave weapons to the Hutu in Rwanda to carry a genocide just because the weapons that they had in their hands were Israeli does not show you that Israel was arming a genocide. People who were buying weapons from Israel were selling it in the black market, in the black market. And that's how these people, the Hutus, got the weapons. It wasn't officially like a state-sanctioned policy to arm the massacre. You see how fucking dishonest? Guys, this was so easy to check. People were buying Israeli weapons, selling it in the market, and in the black market, the Hutus got access to the Israeli weapons. There is no official policy of Israel to sell weapons to the Hutus in Rwanda. You see how dishonest this fuck is? Oh my God, guys, look at this. Look at this. I found some interesting, more interesting information that he as soon as the Israelis figured out that this is happening, they put a freeze. Look at this. Israel's defense ministry officially ordered a freeze on security exports to Rwanda shortly after the genocide began. And Rwanda was flooded with weapons from numerous other countries, including France, China, Egypt, and South Africa. Guys, in Rwanda, there were all sorts of guns from so many different countries being bought in the black market, but because some of them were Israelis, this fucker is trying to make it like Israel facilitated the Rwandan genocide. Fuck this guy. Like, seriously, fuck this guy. You see how dishonest this fucker is? Do you guys see? Unfucking believable. Like, every time I look into anything these people are saying against Israel, the level of dishonesty, it's just, these people are evil. This is evil. You're watching evil.
2020, and she goes back into the White House. At this point, she is the head of USAID, the United States Agency for International Development. She also has a seat on the National Security Council.
So he's talking about his guess. He's trying to show that why his guess is credible. Amir gave us our first super chat. Thank you so much, Amir. Saying for douche like Tucker, like, is that douche? Yeah. Like Tucker, the Holocaust probably caused by the Jews. Yeah, exactly. How know who it hurts the most? Not Jews. Any place out there that suffer from genocide will not be taken seriously because of BS bullshitters like him. Real victims are ignored. Yeah, I mean, he's full of shit, for no doubt. And thank you, Amir. Thank you so much for the first super chat of the day.
She is a high-level foreign policy person in the Biden administration. Well, it just so happens that during her time there, the thing that she warned about, wrote about,
all right, just
actually happened. Another genocide. This one took place in Gaza.
See? All this talk about Rwanda is to try to make it seem like Israel is now doing the same thing, a genocide in Gaza, and the world is ignoring it. How? What mindset? Like, what world philosophy, what retarded take of the world do you need to have to be able to compare what happened in Rwanda, where the Hutus were killing the Tutsis for no fucking reason other than them being of a different race, and for this backward, retarded, ancient, like racist, tribal bullshit that makes no fucking sense? How do you compare that to Israel defending itself after their greatest attacks on their civilians in October 7th? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Was the genocide in Rwanda in response to it was an act of self-defense to something like October 7th? Like, the Rwandan genocide is famous for being unprovoked. Do you guys remember October 7th? You guys remember that happened? What the fuck do you want Israel to do? You want Israel to just like roll over and die after they're being attacked? Like, what are you talking about? How is that even remotely similar? Let me take some data where this idiot speaks.
Territory that Israel has controlled, formerly part of Egypt, since 1967. And shortly after the attacks by Hamas into southern Israel in October of 2023, Israel decided to murder as many people as it possibly could in Gaza with the aim of getting the entire population to leave Gaza so Israel could take over.
Israel was doing everything in its power to try to avoid killing civilians more than any other nation state on the planet. What are you talking about? Israel was trying to kill as many people as possible in Gaza? Do you know how easy it is to get into the hundreds of thousands of people killed in Gaza? Do you know how easy it is to get that? Do you know how easy it is for Israel to get to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people being killed in Gaza in a matter of 24 hours? Do you know how easy it is to achieve that for Israel? Israel has done more than any country on the planet. No army has done more than the IDF to try to reduce civilian casualties. What the fuck are you talking about? In Rwandan genocide, they were trying to kill as many civilians as possible. In Gaza, Israel was trying to save as many civilians as possible. They literally sent their own soldiers into Gaza to remove a Hamas blockade so that the people in Gaza could move away from under the bombardment. They risked their own soldiers' lives to save the Gazan people. In the middle of the war, they had a vaccine. They had a vaccine operation for the people in Gaza. In the middle of the fucking war, Israelis sent people there to vaccinate the people in Gaza. What are you talking about? Oh my God, this is insane. This is absolutely insane.
For Gaza. Now, we're not guessing about this because Israeli officials said out loud, this is our plan. And then they tried to do it. Two interesting.
What do you mean? When did they say this is our plan? Citations needed. Citations fucking needed, you motherfucker. When did Israel say that we're trying to kill as many people as possible? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Why is it that they drop leaflets? Why is it that they call people in Gaza telling them where to move? Why is it that they do explosions in front of apartments before they bomb a building so that the people could leave? Why is it that they give people maps in Gaza telling them where the bombardments is going to be and where to move away from so that they could avoid the bombardment, the areas of the highest bombardment? Why is it that so many times they avoided using bigger bombs? And because of their more targeted attacks, some of the most dangerous Hamas terrorists managed to survive because Israel, and it actually backfired and got many Israelis killed just because Israel was trying to be careful and reduce civilian casualties. Why is it that Israel has moved more calories into a war zone than any country ever? Israel has moved more calories into a war zone, into a war zone that it was attacking, that had the army that it was attacking against inside that population, move food in there, in calories in the shortest amount of time than any other country, feeding the population that is hosting the army, the militants that are attacking it more than recorded history. Israel, let me say that again for people who are not understanding what I'm saying. Israel has moved more calories into a battlefield within an area that is fighting against more calories than any army has ever in the history of modern warfare. That doesn't sound like an army that is trying to kill as many civilians as possible. Like, guys, these are facts. These are verifiable facts. These are easily accessible, verifiable facts. What is this guy fucking talking about? Oh, look at this. We got 2 super chats. Guys, thank you. Thank you. We got Amir saying, Tucker, wipe the Qatar from your lips. Okay. And then we got, this is Amir celebrating 20 months of membership. Thank you so much, Amir, saying, fuck Tucker Carlson. Doesn't worth your anger. Well, I mean, it's not just him, it's not just him. My anger is against him and many other people who have these views. And actually it is worth it because look at this. Like, this got 500,000 of views in 3 days. This got 500,000 of views in 3 days. So this is a poison. This is a sickness. This is a disease that is worth our attention. Like, I genuinely think it's worth our attention. This is like, we can't ignore this sickness.
Things. Samantha Power, famous for opposing genocide, said not a word about this. Of course, by this point, 30 years after the Rwandan genocide, Samantha Power's view of genocide appeared to have changed. So the way to fight...
Guys, make sure you like the stream. Like the stream because we need to respond to this bullshit. This is too much bullshit. And I look at this, guys. I come with all the info and the facts here. The information that, I have these readily available. And every time I don't, like the thing with the Houthis, the Israeli guns with the Houthis, I check with you. I check right here with you in real time and I give you the facts. Okay? So this is a very effective way of arming people with the information that is required to answer this bullshit.
Genocide really was to empower women and girls in the LGBT community. Fight the patriarchy. That's how you prevent genocide. But when an actual genocide occurred on her watch, as someone with a seat on the National Security Council, Samantha Power did and said nothing. She's now back at Harvard Law School, but she has actually been asked about this. You're the genocide lady, but you did nothing to stop genocide after writing a book scolding the rest of us?
Look at this. Texas, great point. Texas, this is what I say. If Israel has planned the genocide, they are really bad at it. Yep, you know what? We finally found something that Jews suck at. Okay? With all their talent and all their knowledge, with all their technology, with all their academic progress and scientific knowledge, for some reason, Jews cannot figure out how to do genocide. They're just really dumb when it comes to genocide. They're for some reason they're good at everything else: law, finance, maybe not sports, but chess, arts, comedy. They excel more than any other population in almost everything, except genocide. When it comes to genocide, they are like, how do we do this? Like, should we drop the bombs after the people have evacuated an area? Would that get us the maximum number of kills? Like, guys, when they kill the most people, should we get them to leave before we bomb the area? Like, I guess that would get us more kills, huh? Like, okay, leave, and then they bomb the empty area. That's the only thing they suck at, apparently. Oh, look at the Ami, thank you so much for the super chat saying he is a low cow. Or local people watch him for the laughs. I mean, trust me on this. There are so many people that believe this shit. Like, he has his loyal following. He has a huge loyal following. It's not just hate watching. It's a big deal. He's a big deal, and he has a lot of influence. There's a lot of garbage takes. Anti-Jewish hate is out there. Anti-Jewish hate motivates people to support this garbage. It's true. The people genuinely believe what he's saying. It's a real threat. And then we got a super chat. Thank you so much. We're 4 out of 10 super chats already. Thank you so much, Rachel. By the way, guys, do you guys hear this? I have this machine here that is making some noise. It's not making it into my microphone, is it? Like, it's all, we're okay. Rachel saying we must ignore this. It's very dangerous. How do we fight it? Oh, we mustn't. Sorry. Oh my God. We mustn't ignore this. It's very dangerous. How do we fight? How do we fight it? Like this, like what I'm doing right now. Right? What do you think, Rachel? Do you think like this is? We need to do what I'm doing here right now. All right. This is how we need to respond. We need to we need to play it, minute by minute, second by second, and examine every single claim and have a response to it. This is how I think we should be fighting. What do you think? I think this is the most effective way of doing it. So help me get these responses to more people. So I can, together we could basically get more people to understand why this is batshit crazy, stupid nonsense, right? I will make the responses. I'll do my best to give you the most proper responses. You help me get this in front of more people. Yo, you can't hear it? That's good. That means that it's working. Okay, my microphone is working. Good. Okay, we got more super chats. Oh my God, we're already at 7. We went. Thank you so much, guys. Let me actually remove the stars before. Ginga is saying Armin is a Zionist. How could you tell? Is it that obvious? Oh my God, I was trying to hide it. Guys. I've been really trying to hide this. How do I? You need to help me figure out not to get exposed like this more often. How do I make this? How do I hide? Like, I need to be more careful. People, I'm being exposed. Is there a way that I could protect myself from all these accusations of being a Zionist? Is there anything I could do? Please help me out here, guys. The world can't know. The world can't know that I'm a Zionist. The world cannot know. Any tips? Any tips that you have? Any tips that you have? Let me share it with me, okay? Share it with me. Thank you. Like that, okay? All right, thank you, thank you, Ginga. And then, and then Sayed, thank you so much for the super chat. Saying the amount of money Qatar and the Islamic Republic spend on these propaganda efforts is insane. Yep, I agree. And guys, a lot of people don't know how crazy, how high this is. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Don't forget Russia and the CCP. Don't forget Putin and the CCP. There's a lot of money coming from there as well. Okay. And yeah, thank you, Sayed. And Casey, thank you so much for the super chat saying the only genocide happened in Iran. Fuck Palestine. Yes, completely agree with that. Completely agree. Thank you so much. And also, we had also genocide in Rwanda. This is why this is really much like the most retarded of all false analogies ever, comparing Rwanda to Gaza. Like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, it was the Rwandan genocide is famous for being unprovoked. Was Israel's response to Gaza unprovoked? Guys, there's October 6th, there's October 8th, but nothing happened in between. Like, yeah, it was completely unprovoked. Israel was just willy-nilly, just like, let's just go and just kill as many people as we possibly can for no reason. Nothing happened at all. This is why it makes it so retarded to compare this to Rwanda. And then Amy bringing us to 8 super chats, only 2 away from our goal. Thank you so much, Amy. Amy saying, was being in Persian live okay today, Armin? I don't want to just no, of course. I love, guys, when you guys come to the Persian show and you say supportive things to the Iranians, I love that, and I like highlighting it because it actually helps us. It actually helps me demonstrate to our Iranian audience that the Americans and Israelis still support us. It's actually so good that you guys come to the Persian streams. And you guys are so sweet because you don't even understand what I'm saying. And you come and put your messages of support, and I highlight it. And then, I show how much, like, because let me tell you why it's so helpful, Amy. Because the Iranian people right now feel forgotten. They feel forgotten, right? They feel abandoned. So when you come there and you post in support of the Iranian people, and I highlight it, it's so encouraging, and it helps the Iranian people feel seen and cared for. So you're saying I don't want to disrupt the discussion. You're not. You're actually really helping out. You're really helping out. So thank you for being there. I appreciate that. And it's very sweet you guys do that. Yeah, Koala Katie saying, are those on YouTube? Yeah, it's my Persian channel. I'll put it in the chat for you guys. The link to it in the chat if you guys want to visit something. I mean, it's in Persian, so you guys are not going to understand what we're saying. But if you guys want to come and hang out and just say hi to the Iranians there or something when I go live there, that would be nice. All right, let's continue.
For doing nothing to stop genocide? Why is that? She didn't respond well. I'm not here to answer questions like that, she said. You can look it up. It's an amazing exchange. What she did not say was, you're absolutely right. I wrote a book saying the civilized world can't allow genocide to happen, and then I allowed it to happen. But that's exactly what she did. But what's even more interesting is that she's not alone in this. Everybody knew from the first week after October 7th that Israel planned to commit genocide, traditionally defined genocide, targeting a population because of their bloodline and trying to exterminate or move them.
Where is the fucking evidence that Israel was attacking Gaza because of their bloodline? Guys, give me a single piece of evidence. A single evidence. Israel gives more rights and freedoms to Arabs than any other Arab or Islamic country. Guys, what if Israel is trying to kill people in Gaza for being Arab? Then why is it that Arabs and Muslims in Israel have more rights and freedom than Arabs in Arab countries and Muslims in Islamic countries? Why is it that the best place to be an Arab or a Muslim in the Middle East and North Africa together is Israel? Why is it that there are more Arabs on a per capita basis in Israeli universities than any other ethnicity? Why is it that we have Arabs in the Knesset, in the executive branch, no, in the legislative branch of Israel, in their parliament? We have Arab politicians. Why is it that in the highest court in Israel, the highest judges, the highest level judges in Israel are Arab? Why is it that Arab judges in Israel have sentenced 2 Jewish Israeli prime ministers to for prison time? 2 Arab, not only in Israel, the highest, the highest court in the land, their judges are Arab. They actually have so much power that they give prison sentences to Jewish prime ministers. If Israel is trying to target Arabs for their bloodline, for their being Arab, why is it that in Israel taxpayer money is used to fund Sharia courts for the Arabs, for as Muslim Arabs in Israel? If Israel is trying to do genocide on Arabs, why is it that in Israel, everywhere that you go, everything is written in both Hebrew and Arabic? If Israel is trying to target Arabs for their bloodline, why is it that not only Arabs and Jews have equal rights in Israel? Why is it that Arabs actually have more freedoms? They have more rights than Jews in Israel. Because other than everything else being equal, for some reason, Jews are forced to serve in the army, but Arabs don't have to serve in the army. And Arabs still serve in the army because they're proud of being Israeli and they want to serve their country. But they don't have to because they have more rights. If Israel is trying to target Arabs, if Israel is trying to wipe out Arabs for their bloodline, for being Arab, why is it that you can't find a single fucking law in Israel that discriminates against Arabs? And those are only the things that I can think of on the top of my head. Right? Right? I could keep going. Right? Actually, I should cut that part out. That was pretty good. Okay, listen. Wait, hold on. I'm actually proud of that. Wait a second. Wait a second. I like that. I like that list that I just came up with. Right. Let me. What time are we in? What is this? Here. I enjoy, guys. You know how much I like my work. I know I like my work when I sometimes I say something and I then sit back. I was like, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I need to write that. I need to make a note of when I said this so I could give it to my editor to cut it out. Like, yeah, that's good. Not bad, Armin. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, hold on. This is at the 34-minute mark. So end at the 43-minute mark. So I could get the editor to cut that out. Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah, thanks a sec. It was really, yes, you should clip it. It was really good. Okay. Thank you. Oh, offering, thank you. Oh yeah, goal. Oh yeah, goal achieved. Wow, thank you guys. Look at this. And Rachel saying we have a huge inherent disadvantage in social media. Is there no way to fight in a way more advantageous to us? Okay, so you know what? I have a long-term plan. And I'm glad you asked, Rachel. Okay, so I've noticed that there are certain people that just are really good at what they do when it comes to talking about different topics, right? So, and it's really hard to tell whose method works and whose method doesn't work. So, my idea is to create an army of people who are basically discussing all of these topics, and we make more and more of them come and create videos, and we put them all on YouTube, and see and clip them. So we have these long discussions. Then we use AI to find the best clips, and then we make many, like hundreds of videos every single day, and then we see which one performs the most. And then the ones that perform the most, then we put ad money on it, right? And to get to this plan that I have created this discussion group where it's an incubator for finding activists that are basically good at discussing these topics, right? I'm going to put the link into of our discussion group in the chat. This is not just a discussion group, it's basically a place where we're trying to raise an army, right? So as you guys know, I encourage Goldie Kamari to be active on YouTube, and look how amazing she is and how great she is for advocating for a free Iran, right? So we need to replicate that. We need to come up with a streamlined process that we could keep looking for people, bringing them on, making them go live and make clips, and then see whose videos are performing, and then make more of them. So using AI to find the best parts that makes the best points, and then put ad money behind it to get more audience, and also make those people create their own YouTube channels as well, and promote their YouTube channels so that they could also grow their own platform. And this way we become like, we're basically a liberty activist uh, factory. That's what it is. We're trying to create a liberty activist factory, and that's what the whole point of this discussion group is, right? So that's what we're doing. This is the plan. This is a long-term plan. So if you want to support that, come to this discussion group and become maybe a premium or VIP member, because that's where this is going. Okay, that's the plan I think I have, right? And thank you, Rachel, for your support. And then Laura, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for the support. And guys, I put the link to our discussion group in the chat, and you also could get there by scanning the QR code at the top left. It's also in the description. And then thank you, Laura. And then we have Ginga getting us to the finish line. 10 out of 10. Thank you so much. Ginga saying Jews can't work on Sabbath without getting fined. Oh, yeah. I mean, is that the case? Depends on the city, right? I know it's more strict in Jerusalem than in Tel Aviv. I think you could get away with it in Tel Aviv, but not in Jerusalem. Depends on which city you're in. Maybe I don't know, actually. You know what? We already have a guy getting involved with Liberty Politics. He's going to have his own segment, and we're going to help him grow his YouTube channel. And he's going to be talking about Israeli politics. And maybe Ray would also at some point do this as well whenever she's ready. So we're also creating. So when guys start streaming on Liberty Politics, the details about the Israeli internal politics, you will have more access to him. So guys, like, we're now working on Ali's channel growing, and him live streaming on Liberty Politics and having his own segment in our discussion group. Then after that, we're going to go focus on Guy. He's really knowledgeable about Israeli politics. So we're going to do that. And hopefully after that, we go to Ray, who's right now here in the chat. All right, let's continue with this fucker.
Everyone knew this because Israel announced it.
Oh, so no, wait. So Lior is saying, is Guy's stream will be in Hebrew? No, it will be in English, because we're trying to reach we're trying to inform non-Israelis about Israeli politics as well.
Twice in October of 2023, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, said out loud in a public speech, the Palestinians are Amalek. Amalek, a reference that many in the West didn't get.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't. He was talking about Hamas. What?
2023, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, said out loud in a public speech, the Palestinians are Amalek.
He was. Wow! Lies! I know this. This is a fucking lie. He was talking about Hamas. He was talking about Hamas. This is an obvious lie. Liar. This is an obvious. I know this. I listened to it. He was specifically talking about Hamas. There is no obvious of a lie, guys. Even the Israelis who don't like Netanyahu, would say, like, no, he was talking about Hamas. Oh my God, this is such an obvious lie.
Amalek. Twice in October of 2023, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, said out loud in a public speech, the Palestinians are Amalek. Amalek, a reference that many in the West didn't get, but everyone in the region understood. And
they understood that he's talking about Hamas. They understood he's talking about Hamas.
It's a reference to 1 Samuel 15, the first verses in it, which you should read because it tells you a lot about what Israel's doing now. But those verses describe God's command to eliminate a tribe called the Amalekites. And not.
Wait, aren't you a Christian? Are you saying God ordered genocide? Wait, is he saying God? Like, you're saying Israel is doing genocide in Gaza, and you're saying we should go read the Bible because Israel is doing in Gaza what God ordered the Jews to do against Amalek. I mean, as an atheist, I can say that, yeah, God ordered genocide, but you're a Christian. You should believe in those verses. You can't say that God ordered genocide.
Not just the draft age men, but all of them, including children and infants.
Wait, you can't say that. You're a Christian. Are you saying God ordered the killing of children as a Christian? You believe in the God of the Old Testament. Are you accusing your God of ordering people to kill children? You can't say that. You believe you're supposed to believe in the God of the Old Testament as well, not just the God of the New Testament.
All of them. Kill all of them. Destroy all of their property.
So here he's saying Israel is committing genocide in Gaza, just like God ordered the Jews to do genocide on the Amalek in the Bible. Like, are you anti the Yahweh now?
Slay all of their animals. This is God's command. So when Benjamin Netanyahu describes the Palestinians as Amalek twice in the first month of the Gaza operation, you don't need to guess what the point of this is. The point is to destroy every man, woman, and child and infant in Gaza. And
then why don't they do it? If they're trying to kill every man, woman, child, and infant in Gaza, then why is it that they managed to achieve one of the lowest civilian to militant ratios in war in an urban area? If Israel is trying to kill every man, woman, and children and infant in Gaza, why is it that in Gaza, which has the second highest population density in the world, where Israel is fighting an enemy that doesn't wear uniform, and Israel is fighting an enemy that uses human shield, and they admitted that they're doing that? Again, remember these three. Gaza has the second highest population density in the world. Israel is fighting an enemy in Gaza that doesn't wear military uniform. Israel is fighting an enemy in Gaza that uses human shields to protect itself. All three of these are true. They're verifiable facts. And yet Israel, who is trying to, apparently, according to this idiot, trying to kill as many men, women, children, and infants, for some reason, gets the lowest one of the lowest civilian to combatant casualty rates in modern warfare against an urban area. You know you don't get those numbers. You know you don't get those numbers unless you're trying to do everything in your power to avoid killing civilians, right? You know that's not an oopsies, oopsies. Israel, like, we were trying to kill as many people as possible, but whoopsies, we missed them so much that we got the lowest civilian to combatant ratio in modern warfare against an urban area. Oopsies. How did that happen? We broke a record. We broke a record in avoiding civilian casualties. How did that happen? We were trying to kill the most of them. We ended up killing the least of them. How did you know, you guys, you know who knows? Here's the absolute proof. Here's a simple fact that is the absolute proof that Israel tries to avoid killing civilians. You know who knows this and who admits this? Hamas. Hamas knows this. You know how I know Hamas knows and is basically openly admitting to us that Israel, the IDF, is trying to reduce civilian casualties? You know how I know this? I just told you. What? I just told you that Hamas doesn't wear uniforms when they're fighting the IDF. Why is it that they don't do that? Is it because that they don't have uniforms? They have uniforms. We have seen them use their uniform all the time when they're not fighting the IDF, when they're shooting their propaganda video. And they're always so clean because they actually don't use it in battle. They have uniforms. But here's a question. What is Hamas admitting? What is Hamas admitting by not wearing its uniform when they're fighting against the IDF? What is the point of not wearing your uniform? What is a uniform for? A uniform is to protect your civilian population. A uniform is for your enemy, to help your enemy avoid killing the civilians. When you don't wear a uniform, you're admitting that you're trying to make it difficult for your enemy to recognize who's a civilian and who's an armed combatant. Why would you try to make it difficult for your enemy to try to recognize that? That strategy would only work. That, again, listen to me. That strategy would only work if you think that your enemy would be more hesitant to kill you if they think you might be a civilian. Listen to this one more time. Hamas not wearing military uniforms would only make sense if Hamas thinks that the IDF would be more hesitant to kill them if they are having a difficulty figuring out if you're a civilian or not. This means that Hamas thinks that the IDF is trying to avoid killing civilians. Did you follow that logic? Because this is the easiest way to prove to people, because no matter how much data and research you put in front of people, they're like, it's Jewish spy, Jewish lies. That's who's funded it. The Jews funded that study. That's Jewish numbers. My source is Hamas's behavior. Unless the Hamas are also Jews, like, I don't know, right? These conspiracy theories will come up with anything. But my source is Hamas's behavior to show you that even Hamas thinks that the IDF is trying to avoid killing civilians. There is no better proof than that. There is no better proof than this. You guys really don't hear that? That's making a lot of noise. And is my mic blocking all of that background noise? Like, are you sure about that? There's this thing going. This thing is broken. I need to fix it. And you're not hearing it? So this is really good mic then, if it's blocking all of that. Oh, we hear nothing? Oh my God. Good job. Good mic. Because it's loud. Okay. Worth every penny. Comrade Shifty saying Israel sucks at two things: propaganda and genocide and sports. Guys, is that bad that I say that? Okay. Jews are good at everything. Okay, so three things that Jews are not that good at least they're not famous for. Okay. For being good at. Okay. Jews are good at entrepreneurship, the comedy, chess, technology, finance, law, academia, politics, almost everything that you could think of, except three things. Propaganda, genocide, and sports. Yeah. I don't know. Is that yeah. Oh, wait. Fine starts saying I can hear it. You can? Okay. Shh. Let's see if anybody hears it. Okay. And thank you, Comrade Shifty, for the super chat. Okay, let's continue. Can't hear it. Okay. Foreigners, you have some powerful ears. Nothing. Okay, good. Let's continue then.
They said about doing that. But it wasn't just Netanyahu who said that. It was a lot of different authorities in Israel. And in fact, as someone who's been keeping a list of this for a while, it might be worth reading them, just so everyone knows this isn't blood libel. It is true. On October 9th, so 3 days after the Hamas attacks, the defense minister of Israel, their own Pete Hegseth, described his plans for Gaza, not for Hamas, for the entire territory, for the over 2 million people who live there. And we're quoting, no electricity, no food will be allowed in. We are fighting human animals, not human beings, human animals. Well, the deputy mayor of Jerusalem that winter responded, not to say, whoa, settle down, defense minister. Calling your opponents animals is, of course, genocidal talk. No, the deputy mayor of Jerusalem thought he didn't go far enough. And he said this: they're not human animals. They're not human beings. They are subhuman. And then he said that the Palestinians of Gaza should be buried alive with bulldozers.
I remember these quotes. I remember that back then people were taking it like only selected, they were selecting only parts of it and not quoting it in full. So I'm going to try to see if I could find it to show, because I remember these quotes were specifically, at least by the defense minister and the prime minister. I remember this was against Hamas. This was and they were accurate. And it has always been, by the way, part of military strategy to temporarily stop water and food to go into an area until you could figure things out. And again, remember, overall, Israel has moved more calories into Gaza, free food that Hamas steals into Gaza, more calories into war zone than any other military ever in the history of modern warfare. And also, the water that goes into Gaza is a subsidized water by the Israeli taxpayer for the sake of the people in Gaza. They don't tell you that. It's a subsidized, Israeli taxpayers pay for the water of Gazan people to drink. And you're like, oh, they cut the water for a very short amount of time. And they don't tell you that that's the water that is a gift from Israelis to the people in Gaza to drink. They don't tell you that part, do they? They forget to tell you that part. So while he's speaking, let me go keep finding those quotes.
Which some ultimately apparently were. Ben Gvir, Matt Brooks of the Republican Jewish Coalition, carpet bomb. Cabinet ministers in Israel, supporters of Israel in the United States, making the same case in public from the very first day: kill indiscriminately, move them out. There were discussions on the American right about what we should do with those Gazans, the people who live there. Move them to other countries, Egypt, maybe even the United States. Get them out. Kill enough of them that the rest leave. The survivors want to flee. And so the aim was genocidal from the very first day. The Israelis announced it. Israel's supporters in the United States seconded it, amplified it, and members of the U.S. Congress on television, the people who are paying for this genocide, announced proudly, that's right. The Israelis have every right to kill civilians, and that's why we are paying them and giving them weapons to do so. Watch this.
I would encourage the other side to not so lightly throw around the idea of innocent Palestinian civilians, as is frequently said. I don't think we would so lightly throw around the term innocent Nazi civilians during World War II.
In World War II, we did not negotiate a surrender.
That is accurate. Palestinian refers to people who are terrorists, not everybody in Gaza. That is actually correct. But that should what it should mean. But let me look at this. So I've got the I got the quotes from Yoav Gallant and Benjamin Netanyahu. Today, against the enemy. Okay, yeah. So today, against the enemy, with the ancient command, remember what the Amalek did to you, ringing in our ears. We find these accused murderers, these human beasts, with full force, and we will defeat them. We will wipe them off the face of the earth. Okay, so the quote explicitly defines who the Amalek are here as the murderers who committed October 7th. He specifically says, look at the quote, guys. We find these accursed murderers. So he's saying the definition of who he's defining as the Amalek to be the ones who did the murders of October 7th. So that means that he's specifying that the murderers of October 7th, they are the ones that they are being wiped out. And also, Yoav Gallant was saying, I have ordered a complete siege on the Gaza Strip. We are fighting human animals and we are acting accordingly. Yeah, so nothing about this quote suggests that he's talking about every single person in Gaza. Nothing about this. He was addressing the IDF commanders regarding the terrorists who crossed the border. Oh, so this was right after October 7th, and he was addressing IDF commanders, and they were talking about the people who crossed the border and came to Israel and did October 7th. He even clarified, saying that when I said human animals, I was referring to the ISIS-like terrorists of Hamas. And by the way, guys, this was huge in Israel. A lot of people in Israel, Jewish Israelis, were criticizing both Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant to come clarify. And they did, even though I think it was pretty obvious from the beginning, which shows how Israel has a self-critical population of people that cares about making sure that they're on the right side of history and they have high moral standards. Like they don't, for example, Tucker Carlson doesn't tell us that how much people in Israel, like how much pushback you have in Israel regarding speaking like this and clarification, even though to me it seemed like it was already clear. It doesn't show how self-correcting Israel is as a democratic, self-critiquing society. And this is getting really loud. Lior, thank you so much for the super chat, saying comment on IDF's recent capture of Bayfort Castle. I need to look in more into that here. I will hold on. I will keep this. Okay, here. I will have this. I will come back to this, okay? I'm gonna keep this start so I could come back to this. But let me go to the next super chat. And Abu Balawa is saying, sorry to disappoint, but Israel is overwhelmingly successful in judo for the past 30 years or so. We're pretty good at sports. This is well, you're not disappointing. We're just having like, we're having fun. You know, it's a joke. But yeah, judo. But it's good to know. Thank you. You're not disappointing me. Like, obviously, we love Israel. We want Israelis to be successful as much as possible. Okay, but that's good to know. Thank you so much for telling me. Israel is good at judo. Thank you. Okay. And thank you for the clarification. But can we keep can we not keep going with that joke? Okay, it's fine. We'll basically keep it at genocide and propaganda. Israel sucks at genocide and propaganda then. Okay. And Agent. Okay. Agent Anderson, thank you so much for the super chat saying, I just got interrupted by a YouTube ad asking for $5 to help Talarico take back Texas. So here you go. Here you go, YouTube. I know they take huge cuts of the super chat. No, they don't. It's okay. Like I thank you so much, Agent Anderson. But guys, don't worry about the cut that they take from the super chats. It's actually worth it. Because without the YouTube making this platform available for us to get the super chats, there is no more effective way to actually create content and get support from it than these super chats. So whatever cut YouTube is taking, at the end of the day, it ends up working well for the content creators. Because if you try to do it in any other way, it would still end up being less, even without the cut. Just YouTube just makes it so much more effective to get support from your fans. And thank you for the support. So, okay. Let me actually go back to Lior's comment. So what we had, Israel. So the IDF successfully captured the historic. I don't know if I'm reading it properly. Beaufort Castle, also known as Qal'atul Shakif, and its surrounding ridge in southern Lebanon. I know that Israelis are making a lot of progress going in places that in Lebanon they haven't been for years. This operation marks Israel's deepest military incursion into Lebanese territory in over 26 years. Let me actually look at this castle. Okay. Deep incursion and strategic advance. Following days of intense airstrikes and fighting, Israel troops crossed the Litani River. Yeah, I heard about that. A historical de facto boundary for IDF operations, and pushed to within approximately 5 kilometers of the Nabatia, a major city in southern Lebanon. The Beaufort, am I pronouncing it right? Ridge offers commanding views over large parts of southern Lebanon and northern Israel, granting the IDF a major tactical advantage. The IDF stated that the operation in the Ridge and the Suluki Valley was launched to dismantle Hezbollah infrastructure. According to the military, Hezbollah had been using these elevated positions to direct attacks and launch hundreds of projectiles into northern Israel. So this is a very symbolic victory. Upon capturing the 900-year-old Crusader fortress, IDF soldiers proudly raised the flag of the State of Israel and the Golani Brigade over the site. Prime Minister Netanyahu just delivered a televised address calling the capture a dramatic stage and dramatic shift in Israel's policy. He announced that he had instructed the IDF to further expand its incursion and deepen its hold on areas previously controlled by Hezbollah. Defense Minister Israel Katz also praised the capture as a critical strategic victory for securing Israel's northern communities. Guys, by the way, this is going to make getting a deal with the Islamic Republic very, 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 difficult because the Islamic Republic, if they accept a deal with United States, given that Hezbollah is being fucked by IDF, it would be very humiliating. This is one of the biggest red lines of the Islamic Republic. So this is really good progress, not just for Israel, but also for us, for Iranian people. And so this is historically, this is very significant. The capture of the castle carries heavy historical weight. The IDF previously captured the fortress during a bloody and symbolic battle on June 6, 1982. Oh my God, 1 year before I was born. During the First Lebanon War, Israel occupied the site until it withdrew from southern Lebanon in 2000. In his address, Netanyahu referenced this history, stating that while the 1982 battle became a symbol of national division, Israel has now returned united, determined, and stronger than ever. Fantastic. Great job. Amazing, Israel. Good job. Like the best army in the world having the greatest victories. We love to see it. We love to see it. And this is a victory not just for Israel, it's a victory for Americans, it's a victory for Iranians, and it's a victory for the world. So good job, Israelis. Love you guys. You know, I hope you keep fucking those people up. Keep fucking those dirt cup evil terrorists for the rest of and the rest of the world. You guys, like the whole world owes you, needs to be grateful for everything you guys do. Thank you. And Olga, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. And then we have cool. Okay, thanks. Bye. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed my Fatwa song, Armin. Oh, okay. Wait, I haven't listened to it yet. Fatwa. Oh my God. Wait, can you give me shit? I forgot to save it. Fatwa on. Let me. Oh my God. Fatwa on Khomeini. Now I remember. Oh, I'm so sorry. Fatwa. It was Fatwa on Khomeini, right? I will listen to it. I promise. What was the song? What was the name again? Oh, I'm so sorry. Where's the name? Guys, do you guys remember the name? Anybody in the chat? I was checking. Okay, cool. Okay, thanks. Bye. Put the name again in the chat. I need to go listen to it. It was a Fatwa on Khomeini. Fatwa on Khomeini song. Yeah, I think that was it. Oh, yeah. Where is it? How could you? Fatwa on the Ayatollah. Okay. Fatwa on the Ayatollah. Okay, I promise I will listen to this. Why is it not showing up when I search for it? Oh, Fatwa on the Ayatollah. Okay. I will listen to it. Okay, thank you. I will listen to it soon. All right, let's go back to this.
With the Nazis, we did not negotiate a surrender with the Japanese. We nuked the Japanese twice in order to get unconditional surrender. That needs to be the same here.
Many people in this part of the world say what happened in Gaza does not align with Christian.
You know, who is this guy? Like, this guy is not an Israeli politician. He's Randy Fine. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not in favor of dropping nukes on civilian populations, and Israel is not good. Israel doesn't do that. So who gives a shit that somebody says?
Needs to be the same here.
Many people in this part of the world say what happened in Gaza does not align with Christian values. Killing children, killing mothers,
I'll be honest
killing
with
families
you.
who are not militants.
Yeah, I don't buy that at all.
Why?
Because what did we do in World War II? Did we think 1 minute about starving the Germans? Did we bomb every city into smithereens? So this is a war. No,
October 7th to World War II.
Yes, I am. This is an absolute existential threat to the Jewish people.
Well, I mean, the Hamas is worse than the Nazis. The only reason why they're not as big of a threat than the Nazis is because they're less capable than the Nazis. But their ideology, they are more genocidal than the Nazis. But just to be clear, I think Israel's moral standards are at a level that they would not just bomb like civilian populations in a style that we did during the World War II. Israel has like much higher standards than that. Like, can you even compare what Israel is doing to anything people were doing during World War II? Like, Israel has never done. Israel Israel has never done that. In fact, it has done the opposite.
We flattened Berlin. We flattened Tokyo.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, I do think that if you look at what the Allies had to do against the Nazis, given how powerful the Nazis were at the time, a lot of the things that we don't think was justified against the Nazis at that time were justified, given how big of a threat the Nazis were to human civilization. Sometimes you just have to choose between two evil and choose the lesser of two evil. Okay. And I don't, even though Hamas's ideology is a lot more dangerous than the Nazis and a lot more evil and it's a lot more genocidal, the Hamas is not as powerful as the Nazis were during the World War II for us to have to resort to that level of violence, right? But if it does get to that level of threat, then anything for the sake of, protecting humanity, if we were at that level, which we're not at that level. I mean, one good thing about Hamas is that they're fucking retarded and they will never become as powerful. Like, they will never become as powerful as the Nazis. So we're not, even though they're existential threat to Israel, they're still not at all close to that level of power for us to have to resort to this level of violence against them.
Were we wrong to drop an atomic bomb to end the Japanese reign of terror? Were we?
No, we weren't. Like, you weren't. Okay, that actually saved, the atomic bombs saved more Japanese lives than took Japanese lives. But again, the Hamas is not at the level of the Japanese Imperial Army, so they're not as powerful.
So my view, if I were Israel, I would have probably done it the same way.
There are no innocent Palestinian civilians.
So I do, guys, this is an unpopular belief. I do think that the Americans were justified with their atomic bombs in Japan. I do think that. I know this is very unpopular. Let me know if you disagree with this, right? I do think that more Japanese would have died, more Americans and Japanese and so many other people would have died if they had not dropped the atomic bombs, right? This is very unpopular belief, but I do think that. However, I don't think that we're at the same level of the Hamas is not at the same level of strength as the Nazis and the Japanese Imperial Army. So that's why Israel could actually be more careful with what they do. Yeah, it is. It was awful. I'm not denying it wasn't awful. It was very awful. Big disagree. You think Americans were not justified?
We starved the Germans. We're proud of it. We dropped an atomic bomb on Japanese civilians. We're proud of it. The Israelis should do the same here.
Yeah, guys, who agrees with me? I know this is a very unpopular view. I think the Americans were justified with the Hiroshima bomb. It ended the war early. If you dragged on the war, it would have killed so many more people.
Now, if there's another definition of genocide, intentionally targeting the innocent for murder, it would be interesting to know what it is. Keep in mind, none of these people, Brian Mass from Florida, Randy Fine from Florida, in the end, of course, Lindsey Graham from South Carolina, none of them even bothered to add the caveat, well, Hamas supporters. No. People who live next door to Hamas supporters, down the street from Hamas supporters, in the same region as Hamas supporters, Arabs must be killed.
It's interesting because you're basically playing videos of politicians that have actually don't have decision-making power on what the IDF does. Like, what the fuck does that even got to do? The IDF is avoiding killing civilians. You're giving me comments of some politicians that do not even have control over what the IDF does. I don't care about those clips that you showed me. I look at the IDF. The IDF is avoiding killing civilians. That's all that matters.
Because they're Arabs. How is that any different from Hutu radio comparing the Tutsis to cockroaches? How is the net result different? Well, it's identical in both cases.
Because the Tutsis, all Tutsis were compared to cockroaches. Can you not see that The Hutus were comparing all the Tutsis to cockroaches, every single one of them. Every single one of them. Israel treats its Arab population just like every other Israeli. They were targeting Hamas. That's the difference.
Cases. How is it different? And this is an explicit violation.
That's the difference. That's the difference. No, none of these Israeli politicians that you highlighted have spoken about Arabs. Like, in fact, the accusation against these politicians in Israel is that they are leaning too much in trying to get the Arabs to vote for them. That's the accusations against them. That is the attacks on Netanyahu in Israel, is that he cares too much about the Arab vote. He was trying to build a coalition with the Arab parties. I mean, do you not know your shit? Like, I mean, he probably does, but he's evil.
Different. Well, it's identical in both cases. How is it different? And this is an explicit violation of the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism, but it's also true. How is this different from what the Germans did to civilians in World War II? It's different in its.
The Germans were trying to kill the most civilians. Israel is trying to kill the least civilians. Easy. Oh, we got another super chat. Thank you. Emric is saying, good job, very informative. I'm going back to the beginning so I do not miss anything. Oh yeah, do that, because we got so many really good points at the beginning. So thank you, and thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you appreciating our show.
Scale, thankfully. Is it different in its intent? It's hard to see how. And if it is different, how? How is it different? Well, of course it's not.
Guys, one thing you have to remember about human rights, okay? It's really good to have all of these standards, okay? All of these standards on how to treat prisoners, how to treat civilians in war, what to do with the food access and water access of the people within the area that you're having military operations with, the transparency, regarding the legality and the transparency regarding all the measures that you take to try to reduce civilian casualties, due process for the people that you've arrested, providing evidence, making sure that you have enough checks and balances for the behavior of your soldiers. All of these are valuable things to have, and every country that has them is superior to countries that doesn't have them. There's one thing that you need to add to all of this, okay? You don't get to do any of that if you do not exist. Okay, pay attention to this point. You don't get to do any of those wonderful, beautiful things that shows that you're a civilized society with high standards for human life. None of that. You don't get to do any of that and demonstrate your high moral standards if you are dead. Right? So the highest of our priorities for every person and every nation and every society is to survive. Okay? And if at any point you have to choose between survival and abiding by these rules, you have to choose survival. If at any point in time you are forced to violate some of these rules so you could live, go ahead and violate those rules, because you don't get to abide by those rules if you're dead. Okay, before all of these rights, before all of these standards, the most important right is the right to live. That is my priority. Everything else comes second. You know what? That was good as well. I need to cut that part out. What minute are we at? That was pretty good. Let me cut that out. Okay. Hold on. That was good. I'm happy with myself. I'm very happy with myself today. We're at the 1 hour and 19 minute mark. Okay. So there we go. Oh, that means I have to go. Also, yeah. Yes, and protect your citizens. Exactly. Damn, 2 for 2. Yes. Okay. Oh, 1 hour and 18 minutes. Thank you, Amir. Thank you. Okay. See, guys, I'm so full of myself. I keep getting impressed with myself. What is that? Like the ego? Oh my God! Somebody! We have to deflate the ego. Okay. Okay, wait, I need to go because we are in the. I need to get ready for the next show. But hold on, we got another super chat. Casey, okay, we're gonna do 10 more minutes and then we'll go 10 more minutes. Casey saying Tucker used MEK money to buy his house in Qatar. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But don't give MEK any ideas. Okay, let's continue. You know, one reason this thing is really loud. I'm so glad you guys can't hear it because it's so fucking loud. Like shit, what the hell is happening? I need to go fix this. I feel like it's going to explode. Okay, let's continue.
Not. It's the same thing. All of this, by the way, was going on with Samantha Power, not to beat up on poor Samantha Power. Clearly didn't sign up for this. She just wanted to talk about the empowerment of women and girls in the LGBT community. But how could you write a book on genocide or claim to oppose genocide or send money to a Holocaust memorial or talk about the Second World War?
Oh, you can hear it? You can hear it? Oh my God, it's getting louder, right? Okay, it's getting annoying, right? Okay, I can hear it, to be honest, when you don't talk. Okay. You know what? Maybe I should just go fix that because I think like something is about to happen. This thing is going to blow right above my head. And I don't know how to fix it. You know, I think the only thing, my way of fixing thing is to tap it and see if it does anything. You guys hear that? Look at this. What is happening? Yeah, I need to go fix that. Not that I know how to. Okay. I've tried to turn it off and on. It doesn't work. Present to Kunish. What is it? No, it's okay. I'm gonna. Okay. It's the okay. Okay. I need to go fix this, guys. I'm gonna end the stream here so I can see if I could fix this right now. But I'll be back live exactly here in about 40 minutes. And don't forget to come join our discussion group. Again, remember, this is not, it's a taqiyya. I'm doing an ex-Muslim taqiyya. We called it a discussion group, but it's not a discussion group. This is a base of operations. We're raising an army. Okay? This is the base. This is where we're raising the Armin's army. Armin's army, and I'll put the link in the discussion to the discussion group. Okay, we cut like it to our discussion group. Okay, but again, remember, this is an incubator for activists. We're trying to raise an army, but don't tell anybody. Let's just keep telling people it's just a discussion group. So the link is in the chat. You could also reach it by scanning the QR code at the top left. And the link is in the description. And also the link is in the bio of our YouTube channel, Liberty Politics. And guys, make sure you like and subscribe and all the things. Guys, you know what? Don't think about it. You see, there's buttons, all the buttons, except the report button. Don't press that one. But everything else under the video, like the like, subscribe, the notification, just go crazy. Just go like, on all the buttons, okay? And the comments, just write anything, okay? And just have your time with all of them. Okay, click all the buttons under the video. All right, thank you guys. And yeah, all right. So I'll see you guys. Click. Yeah, okay, click. Yeah, that helps. That helps. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna go get ready and try to see what I could do with this thing. And I'll see you guys soon in about 40 minutes on this channel. So see you guys soon. Am Israel Chai, Slava Ukraine, Long live America, Javid Shah. Pie and Data. See you guys soon.